In March 2021, at a vehicle service area, a worker attempted to weld a fuel tank containing residual flammable liquids. During the welding process, the tank ignited, causing flames to spread across the immediate workspace. Initial attempts to control the fire with water were ineffective, and additional nearby materials, including a vehicle, were exposed to the flames. Staff later intervened using proper fire suppression methods, successfully containing the fire and preventing further property damage or injury. Welding on or near fuel tanks containing flammable liquids presents a high risk of ignition. Proper procedures must include emptying and ventilating tanks, using non-sparking tools, and ensuring fire extinguishers rated for flammable liquids are immediately available. Water should never be used on liquid fuel fires, as it can spread flames. Staff should receive training on handling flammable materials, understanding fire chemistry, and using appropriate suppression techniques to prevent incidents in maintenance or workshop environments. In August 2024, an incident occurred inside a juice shop in Vietnam during normal business hours. A woman was walking through a narrow passage between a structural pillar and an operating sugarcane juicing machine. As she passed the equipment, a loose portion of her coat came into contact with the rotating components of the machine. The clothing became caught, and the motion of the juicer pulled her arm toward the equipment. A nearby person noticed the situation and quickly shut off the power, allowing the machine to stop. The woman was reported injured during the incident, but avoided more serious outcomes due to the prompt response. Rotating machinery in commercial environments must be positioned and guarded to prevent contact with clothing or bystanders. Clear walkways should be maintained around operating equipment, and loose garments should be avoided near moving parts. Emergency stop controls must remain easily accessible, and staff should be trained to respond immediately to entanglement risks. On September 13, 2024, at a sand processing facility in Shaanxi Province, China, a loader truck was engaged in routine sand loading operations when it overturned. The heavy load caused the rear of the vehicle to lift, and the loader arm made contact with the ground. The vehicle then moved backward and collided with nearby equipment. When operating heavy loaders, it is essential to assess load weight and distribution before lifting or moving material. Vehicles should be positioned on stable, level ground, and operators must follow manufacturer guidelines to prevent tipping. In an industrial work area, two workers approached a large container used for holding flammable chemical materials as part of a routine processing task. During the operation, the workers began manually stirring the contents of the container. Shortly afterward, an unexpected reaction occurred inside the container, leading to a sudden burst and ignition. The individuals involved were reported injured during the incident, and the area was secured to prevent further risk. Flammable chemicals must only be handled using approved procedures that account for their reactive properties. Before stirring or mixing, workers should verify compatibility, ventilation requirements, and ignition risks. Containers should be grounded where required, and manual agitation should be avoided unless explicitly permitted by safety guidelines. Proper training, hazard communication, and the use of suitable tools and protective measures are essential to prevent ignition incidents when working with combustible materials. On February 22, 2023, an open-pit coal mine in China experienced a major ground collapse during active operations. A large section of the mine slope gave way, covering a wide area with earth and debris and trapping workers and heavy machinery below. Rescue teams were immediately deployed to the site to search for those affected. In the days that followed, authorities confirmed that 6 individuals had been found deceased, and that dozens of others remained unaccounted for as rescue efforts continued. Mining operations in open pit or slope environments carry inherent geotechnical risks, and proper assessment of ground stability is critical before and during excavation. Continuous ground condition evaluations and strict adherence to engineering controls can help reduce the risk of slope instability. In July 2022, at a construction site in China, a remote-controlled excavator was operating in a difficult-to-access area on a rocky slope. During the operation, the equipment was unintentionally maneuvered off the edge of a cliff, resulting in the excavator falling several dozen meters. Co-workers on site recorded the event, and fortunately, no personnel were in proximity, so no one was injured. The excavator was reported destroyed and could not be repaired. Heavy equipment operating in elevated or unstable terrain must be carefully positioned and stabilized. Remote-controlled machinery requires clear communication, thorough operator training, and risk assessments for slope and ground conditions. On August 31, 2024, at a manufacturing facility in Guangdong Province, People's Republic of China, a mechanical robot arm was operating as part of an automated production process. During routine activity, a worker entered the robot's operational range without the machinery being fully stopped and isolated. The moving arm made unintended contact with the worker's upper body. The individual later passed away due to the incident. Automated machinery such as robotic arms must only be accessed when the equipment is fully shut down, isolated from power sources, and locked out. Workers should never enter active robot work envelopes without confirmation that the system is in a safe state. Physical barriers, presence sensing devices, and interlock systems help prevent unintended entry into hazardous zones. On October 17, 2024, at a gas station in the Gediz district of Kütahya, Turkey, a vehicle waiting to refuel suddenly caught fire. Station staff noticed the flames immediately and intervened using a fire extinguisher to control the blaze. Additional employees assisted in fully extinguishing the fire, preventing it from reaching nearby fuel pumps. The vehicle was subsequently moved to a safe area. No injuries were reported, and the incident was recorded by the station's security cameras. Vehicles at refueling stations can present fire hazards, and quick, calm responses are essential to prevent escalation. Staff should be trained in fire extinguisher use and emergency protocols, including keeping safe distances and ensuring fuel sources are isolated. In early December 2025, 2 window washers were working on the exterior of a high-rise building in the Tysons area of Fairfax County, Virginia, United States. During the morning shift, the suspended window washing platform experienced a malfunction that left the workers hanging several stories above the ground. The building's mechanical basket was unable to remain securely positioned, trapping the workers in their harnesses. Fire and rescue personnel were dispatched and coordinated a technical rescue operation. Using an aerial ladder and safety equipment, the responders lowered each worker to the ground without injury. Work at height using suspended platforms requires that all rigging, support structures, and safety systems are inspected and maintained according to manufacturer standards before each shift. In November 2022, a workplace incident occurred at an active road construction site in Mbale, Uganda. A road worker was assisting with paving operations and was positioned within the work zone while a road roller was maneuvering nearby. During the operation, the operator did not notice the worker's location, and the machine moved unexpectedly within the active area. Road construction sites require strict controls to separate personnel from moving equipment. Clear communication protocols, designated spotters, and exclusion zones must be established whenever heavy machinery is operating.